Watch this. Right now, a deep, ugly scuff across the door panel. The kind that makes your stomach drop in a parking lot. The kind that makes you immediately start Googling body shops and bracing for a bill that ruins your week. Watch what happens when I wipe something on it. One cloth, 60 seconds of circular motion, gone. The scratch is gone. The paint looks factory fresh. And what I just used cost less than $1. Not a product from a shelf, not a kit from an infomercial. Two things you already own, combined in a way no auto body shop on earth wants you to discover. Because here is the truth. Most car scratches are not scratches. They are lies. Visual lies that the auto body industry has spent decades training you to panic about. And that panic is worth $40 billion a year to them. Welcome to the buried blueprint. I'm going to show you exactly what I used, why it works on a chemical level, and how you can do this in your own driveway in under 2 minutes. But before I do, if you are new here and you care about pulling back the curtain on industries that have been robbing you in broad daylight, hit subscribe and ring that bell right now. Because this channel exists for one reason: to give you back the knowledge they took from you. Now, let's talk about what just happened to that scratch. And more importantly, let's talk about who benefits when you don't know about it. You walk out to your car in a parking lot, there it is, a white or silver streak across your door. Maybe a scuff from a shopping cart. Maybe someone swung their door open too wide. Your heart sinks. You run your fingernail across it. It catches slightly. You think, this is bad, this is deep. I need a professional. So you do what they trained you to do. You call a detailing shop, you call a dealership, you call a body shop, and the person on the other end of the phone speaks to you in the calm, clinical tone of a surgeon delivering difficult news. They say words like clear coat failure. They say paint correction. They say machine buffing, compound polish, single-stage paint versus two-stage paint. They talk to you like this is brain surgery. And by the end of the call, they have convinced you that your car's paint is essentially a crime scene that only a board-certified specialist can fix. And they quote you anywhere from $300 to $500 for a scuff, a parking lot scuff. That takes 60 seconds to fix. Here is the part that should make you genuinely angry. The auto detailing and body shop industry is a $40 billion machine, and its single greatest weapon is not a buffer, it is not a compound, it is not specialized equipment. Its greatest weapon is your ignorance of one basic fact about how car paint actually works. Your car's exterior paint has layers. At the very bottom is the metal of your body panel. Above that is a layer of primer. Above that is your base coat, which is the actual color you see. And then, on top of all of it, is a final transparent layer called the clear coat. The clear coat is simply a hardened resin, a thick, protective, transparent shell. Think of it like the laminate on a hardwood floor. It is the layer that takes all the punishment so the color underneath doesn't have to. Now here is the critical fact. When someone door dings you in a parking lot, or when a shopping cart grazes your panel, or when another driver's bumper transfers a stripe of their paint onto yours, they are almost never cutting through to your base coat. What you are looking at 90% of the time is one of two things. Either it is foreign paint, the other car's paint, literally sitting on top of your clear coat like wax on a table, or it is an extremely shallow micro-abrasion, a set of tiny surface scratches in the top layer of your clear coat only, that scatter light in a way that looks dramatic but is actually nothing more than a roughened surface on the very outermost layer of your paint system. That's it. That is the secret they are charging you $500 to fix, a roughened surface, or someone else's paint sitting on your car. But stay with me. Because before I show you the exact two-ingredient combination that fixes this permanently, I need to tell you something important. This car scratch secret is just one page in a much larger book that has been hidden from you. Over in the description right now, there is a link to the complete buried blueprint vault. Inside that vault are dozens of classified DIY guides covering everything from eliminating black mold without chemicals to rebuilding rotted wood for less than $3 to cutting your energy bill in half with a forgotten 1940s insulation method. The industries that profit from your helplessness want that vault buried. Click the link in the description and get it before it gets pulled. We lose access to these things all the time, but stay right here, because exactly how you apply this changes everything. A wrong move can leave swirl marks. The right move makes your paint look better than it did before the scratch happened. So do not skip this next part. Now, the reveal. The solution sitting in your bathroom right now is white toothpaste. Standard, plain, white toothpaste. Not gel, not whitening strips, not fancy activated charcoal paste. Plain, white, opaque toothpaste. The kind that costs $1 at a dollar store. And the second ingredient is WD-40. The blue and yellow can that has been under your kitchen sink or in your garage for years. Together, These two things form what is chemically identical to the polishing compound that professional detailers use in their machines. Identical, not similar. Identical in mechanism. Here is why it works. And this is the part that will make you never look at a detailing quote the same way again. White toothpaste contains something called hydrated silica. Hydrated silica is a microscopic abrasive. Billions of tiny, uniform particles suspended in the paste. When you rub them against a surface under controlled pressure, they act like incredibly fine sandpaper, too fine to be felt by your hand, but aggressive enough to shave off a micro layer of clear coat. This is the exact same principle behind every single polishing compound sold by Meguiar's, 3M, Chemical Guys, and every other detailing brand. They are all suspended micro-abrasives. The difference is the brand name and the markup. A tube of name brand polishing compound costs $30 to $60. A tube of toothpaste costs $1. The physics are the same. Now, WD-40. Most people think WD-40 is just a lubricant. It is much more than that. WD-40 is a penetrating solvent. And when you apply it directly to paint transfer from another vehicle, the solvent properties of WD-40 begin to chemically dissolve and release the foreign paint. It loosens the bond between the transferred paint and your clear coat so that when the silica abrasive in the toothpaste makes contact, it is not grinding against a stuck contaminant. It is sweeping away something that is already chemically loosened and ready to lift. The WD-40 also acts as a lubricant for the silica particles, preventing them from dragging aggressively across your clear coat and leaving deeper scratches. It controls the cut. It turns a dry abrasive into a wet, controlled, self-lubricating polishing compound. Together, the toothpaste and the WD-40 create a perfectly calibrated micro-polishing system. It removes the contaminant, it levels the surface scratches in the clear coat, it restores clarity and gloss, and it does all of this without ever touching your base coat underneath. Because the pressure your hand applies with a microfiber cloth is not enough to cut through the clear coat, it only polishes the surface. That is the safeguard built into this entire process. Now let's walk through this step by step, because the technique matters. First, gather your materials. You need white, opaque toothpaste. Again, not gel. Gel toothpaste does not contain enough hydrated silica to work effectively. You need WD-40. You need 2 clean microfiber cloths. Not a paper towel, not a rag. Microfiber. Paper towels are far too abrasive and will leave scratches of their own. Microfiber cloths are cheap. A pack of 10 costs $3 or $4, and you likely already have them. Do not use an old t-shirt. Do not use a sponge. Microfiber only. Second, assess the damage in good light. Take your car to a spot with direct sunlight or a bright shop light. Look at the scratch from multiple angles. If you can run your fingernail firmly across the scratch, and it does not catch at all, you are dealing with paint transfer sitting on top of your clear coat. This method will eliminate it in 30 seconds. If your fingernail catches very slightly, you have a shallow clear coat scratch. This method will still work, but it may take 2 or 3 applications. If your fingernail sinks into a groove, if you can feel a ridge, if you can see the color of your car's paint is missing and you see a lighter or darker base coat color underneath, the scratch is too deep for this method. At that level, you have cut through to the base coat and you will need a touch-up paint pen matched to your car's color code, which you can buy for under $15 online. But understand this. Scratches that deep from a parking lot are extremely rare. What you think is deep is almost never deep. Third, spray WD-40 directly onto the scratch. Not a heavy coat, a light targeted mist. Let it sit for 20 to 30 seconds. You will sometimes see the paint transfer begin to change color or lift slightly on its own. That is the solvent doing its job. Fourth, squeeze a small amount of white toothpaste, about the size of a pea, onto your clean microfiber cloth. Not onto the car, onto the cloth. Spread it slightly with your finger so it covers an area about the size of a quarter. Fifth, and this is the critical step, begin rubbing the paste over the scratch using firm, small, tight, circular motions. Think of the size of a coin. You are not scrubbing back and forth. You are not wiping. You are polishing in tight, overlapping circles. The friction is what activates the abrasive and generates the microscopic heat needed to level the clear coat. Apply meaningful pressure. Not aggressive, painful pressure, but firm, intentional pressure. Do this for 45 to 60 seconds without stopping. Watch the scratch as you work. You will see it begin to disappear in real time. Sixth, stop and wipe the area clean with your second dry microfiber cloth. Look at the result in your light source. In most cases, the scratch is gone or dramatically reduced after the first pass. If a shadow remains, repeat the process one more time. 2 applications handle the vast majority of parking lot damage completely. 7th, once satisfied,